Hi everyone, welcome to Learn with me. In this session, I am going to explore about inheritance in Python. People usually thought OOPS concept is difficult one, and for the first time, it is somewhat difficult. But practicing on it, it will be easy. And here I am to make it easy for you. And let's dive into this. Inheritance is a fundamental concept in object oriented programming that allows a class, child class, or derived class to inherit attributes and methods from the parent class or base class. This promotes code reuse, modularity, and hierarchical class structure. In this article, we will explore inheritance in Python. Just simply by this example, I will say inheritance. We will observe single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance and hybrid inheritance. Simply, single inheritance is nothing but a class from parent class, a child class will be there. And next, if you see multi-level, here we observe two parent classes and one child class. And multi-level is nothing but here child class will be derived from two parent classes. And when it comes to hierarchical inheritance, here we observe uh, so many child classes. We find only one parent class here. So multiple child classes we will observe here. When it is comes to hybrid inheritance, here we find so many classes, like multiple classes we will find here. Simply, this flowchart shows what is inheritance, and let's go into some more into this concept and syntax for inheritance. Class, parent class. Here simply for anything we have to define first class keyword, and next with the name of parent class, and next parent class code here pass, and next child class as a keyword. And for this class, child class is a name, and here I access the parent class. And this is a syntax for inheritance concept and explanation of the Python inheritance syntax. Parent class is nothing but this is the base class from which other classes inherit, and it contains attributes and methods that child class can reuse. Uh, Child class, this is derived class that inherits from the parent class, and the syntax for inheritance is called child class or parent class. Child class automatically gets all attributes and methods from the parent class, useless overriding. Creating a parent class. In object-oriented programming, a parent class, also known as base class, defines common attributes and methods that can be inherited by other classes. These attributes and methods serve as the foundation for the child classes. By using inheritance, child classes can access and extend functionality provided by the parent class. Here, an example where a person is a parent class. Let us take a Python program to demonstrate inheritance. First, I taken like class keyword, and I given name person for this class, and I taken like object, and here I used constructor. And for every class we know that we need an object, and for every class we need an method. And I taken constructor here in it, and I taken arguments like self, name, id. As we know that self is self, the use of the self, that is it defaultly it will take object as an argument, as we know. As the use of the constructor is that it will initializes automatically, and there is no need of calling a function by using constructor, as we know that. And for this, as we know that self is an object, so that we can access by using self, even though. So I accessed it here self dot name, and I given like name for this is name again. And I also accessed by using self object id, and given id. And to check if this person is an employee, I again taken one more method, that is def display self, and print self dot name and id as we defined previously. And here I created an object, as we know that for every class we have to create an object. And here I created object like emp, that is nothing but employee, equals to class name person, as we know. And I passed arguments like Satyam and 1 or 2 as name and id employee. And I here called display. Here I didn't call init because init automatically initializes arguments, and here we get output like Satyam and 1 or 2. And next, let's create a child class. A child class, also known as subclass, is a class that inherits properties and methods from its parent class. This child class can also introduce additional attributes and methods, or even override the ones inherited from the parent class. In this case, employee is a child class that inherits from the parent class. Uh, as usual, for this is a continuation of the previous example. Here I taken like class with employee name as employee, and I assessed person, that is a parent class, and here I again taken that one more method, that is I printed here self print employee class called, and next I created here an object, that is employee details equals to, I passed here like Mayank 103 as Mayank as name and 103 as ID, and calling parent class function, that is by using child class object like employee details dot place display. To access the object, we know that we will use the dot operator, and calling child class function, and we print here. And let us go with the init function. Init is a constructor method in Python. It initializes the object state when the object is created. As we already know that init is a function which automatically initializes. The child class doesn't define its own init method. It will automatically inherit it, the one from the parent class. In the example above, the init method in employee class ensures that both inherited and new attributes are properly initialized. A parent class, let us take in a parent class person. I again created a class with the name parent, and I initializes by using constructor called init, and I also assess by using self dot name, and I given like name, and also I initializes with object self and ID number, and I also created a child class that is nothing but with a name called employee, and I also assessed the person, that is parent class, and here I taken like init constructor and also initialize name and ID number, salary, post. And here I used a super because calls person in it. We use super method to use the parent class, and here also I created like object that has as salary and post. And this is the use of init function. Simply by using init function, we can access. It initializes automatically. That is the simple use of the init function. I hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, comment in the comment section. And let us go into types of Python in inheritance. Single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, and hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. First, go with single inheritance. A child class inherits from the parent class. Simply, from child class, parent class will be inherited. And when it comes to multi-level, simply we can get multi-levels. We can get like mother, father, and next child class like that. And when it comes to the multiple, here child class is assessed the mother class and father class. Simply by it will assess the two classes, that is multi-level. And hierarchical is nothing but simply here we find so many child classes, and hybrid inherit is nothing but so we can create so many classes. Let's go with an examples. A child class inherits from the parent class, as I said. Next, here I defined a class with the name parent, and I created a displayed with a def method, and this is the parent class and this is the child class. And for every class we have to create an object. I created C as an object, and I this is C is an object created for the class child, and I call display and show here. Next, enter into the multiple inheritance. I created class with name father, and here I print like father gardening. And next I'm taking class like mother and print mother cooking. And next I'm taking class with the child, and here this is the thing that child multiple is nothing but this is the main thing that we observe here is child class will access both father and mother classes, and here I'm assessing father dot skill self and mother dot skill self. As you know that dot operator is used to assess the object, and here I created a C as an object for the class child and I call the skills. And next go into multi-level inheritance. A class is derived from the child class which is also derived from another class. Here I created like class with the name grandparent and created method show grandparent self and printed like grandparent class and class parent grandparent, and I created method like show parent and self. Here it is simple thing that this parent class is inherited from the grandparent class and child class is inherited from the parent class, and is here also I created method like show child and parent and I printed child class, and here I'm created an object that is c1 dot and c1 dot show grandparents, and I called up grandparent parent and child. And next coming to hierarchical inheritance, simply multiple child classes inherited from the single parent class. Here we simply we can create only one parent class, and from that we can create more so many classes. Before things we will observe that we will create only one object here, single when it comes to multiple, when it's come to multi-level. In all these things we will only create one object, but when it comes to hierarchical we will create so many objects as we required. It is the remembering thing that should be asked in viva questions or else interview. Here I created a c1 as an object and c2 object and I called. Here I think it is clear. Next, coming to hybrid inheritance, combination of two or more types of inheritance is nothing but a hybrid inheritance. Simply I created here class A and method and printed class A, and next I created another class with the name B, and this B is inherited from the A, and here this is C. Also I created C, and as C is inherited from the A, and I created class D which is inherited from the B and C, and I created methods and created here, and here I also called ABC. And I hope it is clear for you. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. If you have any queries, please comment on the comment section. Thank you.